What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Elevator Life.
Hey guys, how you doing today?
Hope you're doing well. We just got back from a trip to Fuzhou, which I'm sure most of you don't know where it is, but it's,
I did not.
It's a city growing very quickly in Fujian province, which is just north of us on the eastern seaboard, and Fuzhou is the capital of Fujian province.
Yeah, we're really excited about filming this post because it's been a subject we wanted to talk about for a long time, and that is second-tier cities here in China. What are they like? What do they look like? What do they feel? How are there business opportunities for people like us, entrepreneurs, Western companies in second-tier cities?
Yeah, everybody knows the major four cities, Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, Shenzhen, but outside of that there's, more than 100 second-tier cities out there with more than 1 million people, and they're all growing just as fast, if not faster, than the major cities. And what was your first impression of Fuzhou?
It felt weird. It felt weird. It felt like I was back in China for the first time. We've gotten really comfortable with living in the big cities here in China, almost because they're so developed that it barely feels like China in some ways. And when we first landed and got into the city of Fuzhou, it was a feeling of, I'm not too sure what's going on. There's zero foreigners walking on the street, zero.
We were there 4 days and we counted 3 other ones.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. It was really, it was a city that felt disconnected. In some parts you would go down blocks that looked like you were in a war zone. Like, these buildings are old cement buildings, and most of them are either torn halfway down, crumbled, and it was unbelievable. And then in some other parts you'd have like 8 skyscrapers going up together, and there was like no connection. The city wasn't connected. There's no subway, obviously, and it was just a city that seemed like it was kind of lost right now.
Yeah, and we asked quite a few different people, the reasoning behind this, why the random skyscrapers, apartment complexes, and then barren space for sometimes a few kilometers, and they just said they're preparing. They're trying to build up the city. The people are coming. It's it's a well-known fact. People are moving towards the eastern part of China, and you look at a city like this, and we were there. We got invited up by some investors of ours for an investment trip to see if there's anything we wanted to get involved in, and I think we definitely came away with a positive experience.
Yeah, well, that was our first reaction, the disconnect, and the interesting vibes about the city, is this really a place where Western development can happen? But as you get to, you get down to the bottom, what's going on in the story, and, you have a village here close to the city, you have a few other villages, and what's happening is they're all going to be connected. Okay, so they're building for the future where used to be 3 cities, now they're all going to be 1 giant city. Fuzhou has about 7 million people in it. I'll say that again, 7 million, and this is like an unknown city to most people. And so, you just kind of get a grasp of the sheer size and magnitude that they're building in a city like that. And then you really start to understand, whoa, there are 1 million opportunities here. Yeah. Okay? 1 million opportunities.
Yeah, the idea for, as we've talked about many times, Western goods, Western brands expanding, looking for, different markets, segments of the market. This is perfectly applicable to a province like Fujian, excuse me. There's multiple cities in there with, total there's like 30 or 40 million, I believe, and that can be a huge potential market for your product or your good.
Oh, exactly. This has got to be the key where people are starting to look. When we were up there, we got to sit down with the provincial government, the city planners, and really talk to them about where they saw the city going, what they were interested in, and they are hungry for foreign investment. There's kind of a point of pride in those cities where it's like, yes, I know, Beijing, all those cities, they get all the press, you should say, but these guys are hungry for foreign investment. They are eager to help foreign companies come into the market, and they want to work with you, which was an amazing sign to see.
Yeah, exactly. They're all established in these great 4 cities, or the first tier cities. But the smart companies or the smart investors are looking to the second tier cities, to invest, because these first tier cities they're developed, yes, but they're continuing to grow. But these cities that are undeveloped, if you can get in early, you'll grow with the city, which is exponentially greater.
Yeah, it's where the growth markets are.
Yeah, exactly.
And the people that make the effort to try and understand these markets are just going to see massive success. A lot of people, they'll start north, Beijing, Shanghai, that's the focus. Shenzhen, they're in the south. There's still a lot of disconnect between those cities, but the companies that are looking into these second-tier cities, looking to work with those governments to find investment opportunities, that's going to be a major key and crucial fact, especially even for us.
Yeah.
We ran into some very interesting opportunities just for Western goods in that city.
Yeah, exactly. Well, one point he just hit on, which I think is the most important: Beijing, Shanghai in the north, Guangzhou, Shenzhen in the south, and then there's the middle. And that's very far distance between the two.
Yep.
So Xiamen, Fuzhou, Wuhan, Changsha, all these cities in the middle that can really link the north to the south. And if you're in that position, moreover, if you're using that place as a warehouse or a distribution point, you have national access, or national distribution set up very strategically in the middle.
Yeah, it's a really interesting idea. And the only way people are going to try and understand these cities and learn how to be successful there is to learn about them.
Yeah.
We learned a lot when we were there. Fuzhou, almost every single family member has one family member that's working abroad.
Yeah.
And we found this when we were asking the city planners what is their experience with bringing foreign goods to that market, and they said it was just massively successful. One story was a few years back, Starbucks went to Fuzhou and was like, they did their research and they weren't ready to go in there. They didn't think it was going to be accepted. It was it wasn't advanced enough. And then 1 year later they opened up, and that Starbucks was the most successful opening ever for a Starbucks store in Fuzhou. It just blew the records of all their other opening days. And that just shows the massive amount of potential that these cities have for companies that are looking to grow and grow with China.
Yeah, there was another brand, one that guy branded and made himself, I believe, Deco's or something like that.
It's a burger place.
It's just a burger joint, it's some fast food joint, and they're all over Fuzhou, multiple locations around the city. It's just a smart entrepreneur came in, saw there's demand and currently no supply. He made it, and now he's successful there.
Yeah, pretty much took the concept. Guangzhou, Shanghai, those cities are really competitive. I'm going to go to this smaller city and open a chain of restaurants, and that's exactly what happened.
It's interesting. All this information is online. It's been in the Wall Street Journal, Yahoo, CNN, but there's still a lack of, I guess, understanding or lack of appreciation for the fact that these markets, are bigger than our domestic markets back in the States. They're growing 10 times as fast, but no one's paying, any bit of mind to them.
Yeah. We just want to make it clear that it was super exciting for us to be able to see the potential and opportunities for growth in that city, and it just kind of brought us back to earth and realized how much potential for growth there is in this country still, and that potential for growth is connected to these second-tier cities.
Yeah.
Whoever is going to make the effort to understand those markets and push forward into those markets, be the pioneers there, they're the ones that's really going to have success and win in this market.
They're not always going to be second-tier cities.
Exactly.
And the third tier and the fourth tier won't always be those respectively either. Everyone's making progress. Fuzhou will have Starbucks and Costa and Subway. They do have Subway.
Yeah.
They'll have all the brands just like Guangzhou does. When we came back to Guangzhou, we were like, oh wow, modern city.
Yeah.
Fuzhou is going to be that here, another year, another 2 years, or it's fast 6 months. Who knows? But the point is, if you take advantage of these opportunities now, before the rest of the people who are even thinking of coming over to second-tier cities, you're a winner.
Yeah, it's an exciting time, guys, and we're just excited that we're here and we're a part of this time, and we're going to see a massive growth in these cities to come here in the near future. Definitely. And it's not going to be slow.
No, not at all. It's exploding, so you should become part of it.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and we hope we get to talk a lot more about second-tier cities in the future. It's definitely going to be something we'll be focused on.
Definitely.
All right, guys.